Hello and welcome to the show. Today I will share with you perhaps the top 5 best permanent unlocks when you prestige while playing Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 multiplayer game. And you achieve these prestige levels by essentially leveling up and then unlocking the prestige level, which then unlocks items that would not normally be available until you reached a certain level. But with that in mind, once you permanently unlock that item, it will always be available to you. For example, my first unlock was kind of a mistake, actually. I did not understand how the permanent unlock system worked. And so I unlocked Flak Jacket, which is a perk, and that item actually unlocks like at level 8. Well, it turns out you actually advance through the lower levels, especially the first 10 levels, rather quickly. And so I may have wasted my first prestige permanent unlock because I would have gained that item after just playing and getting to level 8 rather quickly. And so with that in mind, the first thing to consider is when does the item normally unlock? At what level? The second thing to consider, though, is what is your strategy or how do you play the game? And actually, for me, Flak Jacket is something I run on every loadout, and it's something I use in every game. And so I don't think it was necessarily a wasted unlock, but it's certainly not in the top 5. So, with that all being said, let's get right into the weeds. And so when you reach your first prestige level unlock, you can come over here to level unlocks, give that a click, and then you arrive over here where you have your different unlock levels. They don't start until level 5, and as you can see, the first item I ever permanently unlocked was Flak Jacket. That was at level 8. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. So, that's enough jaw jacking. Let's get right into this. And we're going to start with number 1, probably the best item to permanently unlock when you prestige. Rather than starting at number 5 and making you all wait for number 1, we're going to dive right into number 1. And that is going to be the Gunfighter Wild Card. That is my number 1 permanent unlock. You can see I have permanently unlocked the Gunfighter Wild Card, which gives me 3 extra attachment points for my primary weapons. And if we jump over here to my loadouts, you can see the majority of my weapons actually do utilize that Gunfighter Wild Card because 3 additional attachments, basically, that's a game changer. I don't know which one of these attachments I would eliminate. Maybe rapid fire, but now the gun is going to fire slowly. I could certainly eliminate the crossbow, but normally under barrel, I would run a grip, probably the vertical foregrip or precision foregrip. And if I eliminate that from this build, I lose horizontal recoil control. And so again, even if I eliminated the crossbow, I'm still at 7 attachments. And if we take a look at my marksman rifle, again, I have 8 attachments. I have the recoil springs, makes this a much more accurate weapon. I have the weighted handguard, reinforced barrel, compensator, obviously an optic, which is important, the heavy stock. I wouldn't want to give up the extended mag, and at the end of the day, there's nothing I'd be willing to give up to get down to 5 attachments versus 8. And that would be why the Gunfighter Wildcard is number 1 as far as my permanent unlocks. Also, you can see it doesn't unlock until level 33. So that would be a pretty long time to grind before the Gunfighter Wildcard would actually unlock. And so at the end of the day, the Gunfighter Wildcard is number 1 in my book at the top of the list for permanent unlocks. All right, let's move on to number 2. And the number 2 best item to unlock when you prestige is going to be at level 30, which is still a pretty good grind, and that would be the stem shot. I cannot tell you how many times I have used the stem shot to keep me in the fight and continue on, say, a streak, where without it, I would have been eliminated and be starting all over on my streaks. And so with that being said, the stem shot falls under the tactical equipment category in your loadout, and it's a combat stem that heals wounds and refreshes tactical sprint, and it will recharge on a cooldown. And so for me, I have the stem shot equipped on all of my loadouts under tactical equipment. The last thing I want to do is wait till level 30 for this item. And that is why it comes in at number 2. Moving on to probably the third best item to permanently unlock when you prestige is going to be the blast trap, which doesn't unlock until level 41, believe it or not. And that perhaps tells you how powerful this item is, which falls under your lethal equipment in your loadouts. And the blast trap is basically an explosive that you plant and it will detonate when an enemy comes near it. And so I have permanently unlocked this item. However, I don't use it as much as I probably use the frag grenade, but there are a lot of players using this item, and the fact that it does not unlock until level 41 does, to me, justify it coming in number 3 on the best items to unlock. But it could be argued that the number 4 item to permanently unlock when you prestige could actually take its place, and that would be the wild card Perk Greed. Perk Greed does not actually unlock until level 54. And the fact that the Perk Greed wildcard unlocks at level 54 only gives you a couple levels to equip your loadout with this item, and that perhaps would justify it coming in higher on the list. Some people might have this at number 1. However, I use the Gunfighter wild card far more than I would use Perk Greed. I only have Perk Greed on a couple of my build outs. And with that being said, Perk Greed basically allows you to equip an extra perk in your loadouts. And in this case, under my sniper rifle, you can see if we go to Gunsmith, I only need 5 attachments for this weapon to be extremely effective, so I can actually equip the wild card instead of Gunfighter with Perk Greed, which gives me an additional perk, and so I have equipped that 4th perk with Ninja, and Ninja actually comes in at number 5 for our permanent unlocks. And again, Ninja is a perk that basically allows you to move more quietly, perhaps silently, around the map, thus giving you the ability to sneak up on your enemies and perhaps get a easy elimination. So, to quickly recap the top 5 best items to permanently unlock when you prestige while playing Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 multiplayer game. Number 1, Wildcard Gunfighter. Number 2, the Stem Shot. Number 3, Blast Trap. Number 4, another wild card, Perk Greed. And again, that could be much higher on this list, but for me, I don't use it as much as the other items, so it's coming in at number 4. And then number 5 is a perk, and that is Ninja. So, that pretty much wraps it up for today's show. If you liked the video, do us a favor, spike a like. If you like these type of videos, you might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you have questions or comments, or there's another piece of equipment you think you should use a permanent unlock on when you prestige, drop those in the comment section down below. And until next time, seek and enjoy. See ya.